If your downloads are taking a little too long, or your videos are streaming too slow, it may be time to look into using an Ethernet cable instead of Wi-Fi, or even possibly upgrading your Ethernet cable. Ethernet cables are not only faster than Wi-Fi, but more reliable, as there can be interruptions in the connection that Wi-Fi provides to your computer. This can be especially noticeable if you're gaming. Personally, I play League of Legends, and if my ping spikes even 2 seconds, that could cost me the game, or at the very least be killed, and have to wait around being frustrated while I just sit there for 40 seconds. That said, let's begin. We're going to kick it off with number 5, the Jidel Cat 6, which provides actually up to 10 gigabytes a second. It's 25 or 50 feet long depending on which option you get, which can go around most of your house. It is freaking thin though, so whether you see that as an advantage or a con, it's up to you. It will be able to twist around your house, but note that it is a little on the fragile side. Because of this, it's not my favorite. Although it's a decent choice, we can definitely do better. Next on this list, coming in at number 4, is the MediaBridge Cat 6. MediaBridge is a very popular company in the Ethernet space, and one of the better known ones. This current one that we're going to link down to you below is 15 feet, and it should be more than long enough to fit in your home office if your router and computer or laptop will be in the same room. However, there's a 25 feet option, which is a pretty decent length, but might not go around your entire house. It supports up to 10 gigabytes per second and 550 megahertz, which is a pretty good speed for data transfer. For transparency's sake, it is made in Asia. Not being racist, I'm Asian. But for those of you who only buy American, this is not the product for you. The quality is decent, though not amazing, and the rubbing wire are often cracked within a year or two. So just beware. At number 3, we're finally in our top 3 products. We have the 50-foot Ethernet cable by Amazon Basics, though you have the option for going as short as 3 feet. It's very affordable and one of the most popular choices on Amazon with almost 40,000 reviews. But again, it's a Cat 6, which is why it's so cheap. You're not getting the latest tech, such as a Cat 8 Ethernet cable. If you want the absolute best, this is not it, but it is cheap and affordable, though the slowest of our options. It's ideal for users who are just using email and listening to music because of this. Streaming and video games are not recommended for this option due to its 1 gigabyte per second, or 1,000 megabytes. Notice that this is by far the slowest Ethernet cable that we reviewed, because the other ones are doing 10 gigabytes per second. It also has a 250 megahertz bandwidth, which is again slower than the rest. Up next, at number 2, is the Jadaol by Cat 7, which is the best Ethernet cable for the budget. It's definitely not as cheap as the previous option, but the quality is better. It is a 25-foot Ethernet cable by default with additional lengths for various options, and it is, again, one of the most reputable brands in popular cables. This is not the first Ethernet cable by Jadeau that we reviewed, but it does provide up to 10 gigabytes per second and has a cable performance of up to 600 megahertz. The cables are made of 4 shielded twisted pairs of copper wires with 2 RJ45 connectors, whereas the previous Ethernet cables only had 1. The wires are triple shielded, with the first a PVC jacket, the second aluminum foil, and third HDPE jacket with bare copper conductors. It's a pretty good Ethernet cable for the price especially, and something you definitely can't go wrong with. However, if you want the absolute best Ethernet cable for, well, pretty much anything, from Amazon Prime or Netflix streaming to video game to large downloads, hold your applause. It's the Debillion DA's Cat 8 Ethernet cable. With the below link, you can select lengths anywhere from 3 feet to 100 feet. Most people will probably prefer lengths of 10 to 50 feet. In fact, I personally use a 50-foot Ethernet cable despite being just 10 feet away from my router. But, you know, to each his own. For me, it's helpful in case I ever move and not much more expensive. The cable is made of 4 shielded foiled twisted pairs and supports up to 2,000 megahertz as well as 40 gigabytes per second, making it the fastest option by far. It's certified Cat 8, which reduces signal interference, giving you the cleanest, most powerful connection. It's also shielded with high-quality UV-resistant PVC jacket, and it can withstand direct sunlight, extreme cold, humid, and hot weather while still working efficiently. It's a premium design with great quality and, without the fluff, 18 months warranty with lifetime welcoming customer service. This is the only Ethernet cable on the list that actually has a warranty. And for 18 months, that's pretty good. So if you're looking for the absolute best, make sure to get our #1 pick from Debillion DA. It's hands down the best, and it's a must-have if you want high reliability for your cable, and is really the only viable option for gamers. However, if you're okay settling for something cheaper but with solid speed, go with our #2 pick, the Jidel Cat 7 Ethernet cable, which is good enough for people who have the occasional download and like to stream their YouTube, Netflix, Disney+. You get it. It's going to help you with whatever you need as long as it's not gaming. So definitely pick the top 2 picks depending on your needs. And if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments below.